And by Design West, Malvern National Bank, R-Care, Parker Cadillac, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, Blackman Auctions, Gwatney Chevrolet and Gwatney Buick GMC, and Crane Hyundai of Conway.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. Dial 8. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong. Just dial 8. 888-8888.
We are battle-tested big case injury lawyers who've recovered millions for our clients. Just dial 8. 888-8888.
Been in a wreck anywhere in the state. Just dial 8. 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Vegas, baby! Mark pulls up. Foul line jumper, good! Tremont Mark has been Mr. Clutch.
This is the Gwatney Postgame Show, brought to you by Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville and Gwatney Buick GMC in North Little Rock.
Left side, Brazil with the shot clock expiring, makes the three! Trevin Brazil with a three-pointer, Arkansas by 12.
With another edition of Arkansas basketball in the books, it's time to break down the game from every angle.
Graham steals ahead to Devo for a throwdown. Razorbacks turning it up.
Live from Walk-Ons Sports Bistro in Little Rock, here is Wess Moore and Josh Neighbors.
Welcome back to Walk-Ons. Glad you're with us. Hello, everybody. I'm Wess Moore. Josh Neighbors joining me, and it is the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show, and it's not a lot of fun right now. Razorbacks fall to 0-3 with another bad loss, a loss to where, honestly, they were never in the game, and the second half was kind of meaningless unless you were looking towards trying to find some hope, maybe a laden blocker, somebody that can add some minutes, something to this team, but to be honest with you, being at Walk-Ons, watching it, one of the great things, there's so many other TVs, and I caught myself watching more of the Texans and Browns than I did watching the Razorbacks in the second half.
Yeah, Wes, it's back-to-back weeks now that the crowd here at Walk-Ons has been much better than the effort of the Arkansas Razorbacks. A great crowd out here today, and we appreciate Walk-Ons for having us out here. Yeah, Arkansas, from the get-go, was the worst team. This was another one of those games where a large swath of it was non-competitive. They had a comeback sparked by a switch on defense for going from man to zone, and some different personnel in there too. And you thought, oh, maybe they have something here. Turns out they didn't, and it was one-way traffic. Kind of once Florida got used to that zone, they kind of got over the initial shock of it, and then back to business for the Gators, and kind of back to the same business for Arkansas so far in conference play.
Time after time after time, I hear people calling in, people writing on the Southern Structural Solutions text line, Gangster Museum of America.
Live fan feedback?
Yes, and they're like, hey, why not try a zone? I'm like, well, Musselman doesn't play zone. He's a man-to-man guy.
Right.
He just doesn't do that. He did that today, and that showed me how desperate, how bad the situation is. They can't guard anybody. And so he's like, none of my teams play zone, but you guys are going to force me to play zone because you can't play man-to-man.
They were bullied into it today because of the dribble drive from Florida. The game plan was pretty clear. They were going to attack the rim with their guards. Mostly it was their guards who did a lot of the damage early on with attacking the rim. This game started off, Wes, 14-0 in terms of points in the paint in favor of Florida. The game plan was clear. The zone did work in some ways, but Arkansas's inability to finish off defensive possessions and stay in front of guys and Florida's ball movement and all those things, just kind of came together. But, I mean, other teams are playing well against Arkansas, don't get me wrong, but they look so disorganized on both sides of the ball right now that, and the results are showing it in terms of the score lines, that, it feels like it's an internal thing as opposed to the opponent playing incredibly well.
It ended up points in the paint 28-38.
Right.
Florida,
right.
And part of the problem early, Arkansas couldn't finish.
No.
And really, if I was to sum up to this game to somebody who was like, hey, I didn't get to watch, tell me what happened. Arkansas attacked, went to the basket, couldn't finish. I don't, it's probably on your stat sheet, I don't have it. Layups. what Arkansas's
Right.
shooting percentage for layups. We're talking about layups. Kids make layups. Florida was more physical. Florida was taller, bigger, and Arkansas missed so many layups early. There was 2 different times where Arkansas goes in, misses a layup, a contested layup, could not finish. Florida goes down and finishes a contested layup. And I'm like, that's a 4-point swing right there. Arkansas can't finish, Florida does. Difference in the ball game. It happened time and time again.
Yeah, guys look frazzled around the rim, and it's not exclusive to any player, right? We saw Jalen Graham. I were both watching a second, together, where Jalen Graham makes a really nice move and ends up right at the rim with the left hand, and then almost, I thought about it, or I forgot if he spun back the other way. Like these guys are playing with little to no confidence right now on offense. And this was another game. It was funny. We talked about the different guys who have had the ball. Menefield in the Auburn game was the guy who seemed to be driving the offense. Then Mark was the guy last game who was driving the offense. And it was in a good way. And then this game, Devo was the guy in the beginning of the game who was starting the offense. They don't have a plan. The lineups have been switched around. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing, because I think this team is so scattered right now that they have to just keep trying things until something works, because nothing's working. But that's the thing. Nothing's working at all.
You pulled it up. Arkansas was 10 of 28 for layups.
Yep.
That would be a good percentage for 3-pointers, not a good percentage for layups. That needs to be about, 24 of 28.
Yeah, and then they led today for 1 minute 37 seconds. West, in the 3 SEC games they've played, they've led for a little over 7 minutes.
Wow.
In 3 SEC games. They didn't lead in the Georgia game at all, but I think that speaks to one thing. They keep putting themselves in these massive holes. And they fought back against Georgia, got it close. This game they fought back, but when they fought back, remember, what did they cut the lead to? 9. In the first half.
Yeah.
They were down 18 with less than 10 minutes into the ball game.
Yeah.
And, they can do small things in the game that work, but they're falling into these massive holes, and they allow massive runs to happen too.
Didn't shoot the ball well again. Offensively, obviously, since, the points were a struggle today, 68 points. Is that the high in the SEC? Is that the most points they scored in the SEC? 68.
Arkansas.
Yeah, and 90 for Florida. So offensively, it was a struggle. Defensively, it was a struggle. Not a whole lot of positives in this game. Layden Blocker
68.
came in and played well. I love the dude. I mean, plays defense, gets after people. He hustles. He's scrappy. That's somebody who needs to be playing. Got 14 points. Pinion came in, got to the free throw line, made some shots, had 12 points. Jeremiah Davenport. I like Davenport. I've always liked him. He gives a lot of hustle. He had 13 first-half points, and I think he was the one who cut it to 9.
Yes.
And they showed a tight shot of him coming down the court. He had that dog look, like, come on, guy, just look mad, like, come on. That was about it. I mean, Tremont Mark shot a lot, 14 shots, had 12 points.
Blocker scored 3 points in his last 4 games, and he had 14 today. And the minutes obviously went up too. And Joseph Pinion gets in there, and I thought, if we're going to play zone, it's like you might as well just go full send and just put Pinion up there, and he has a tough time staying in front of guys. But I thought he was active, thought he was moving around, and that was somewhat positive. And I think just getting him some minutes is a positive in general. Like we know he can't stay in front of people. It's not, but nobody's staying in front of people.
No.
Right? So at this point, why not try different guys?
We're going to take your phone calls, 661-1037, 661-1037. I'm sure you want to vent and give us some of your thoughts on this game. This one from the 501 on the Southern Structural Solutions text line. That performance was a touching tribute and end to early Valentine's to my years as coach, from John Pelfrey. Being clever. I get you. All right. We're going to hear from Coach Musselman after a while. We've also got some sound from Layden Blocker, so we'll hear from Little Rock's own Layden Blocker a little bit later. And remind you, come on out to Walk-Ons. The night's just getting started here. They got Cleveland and Houston on the TV. They got other SEC games. I see LSU back there, TCU. TVs galore. You can watch what you want. And then you got the Chiefs later on tonight. So come on out and hang out with us at Walk-Ons. We're just getting started. This is the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show.
The Big Game is brought to you by
Pulaski County's only Buick GMC dealer. Gwatney Buick GMC. Shop the latest GM has to offer. Encore, Terrain, Yukon, or the most advanced tailgating machine in the business. GMC Sierra. Give us a call.
945-4444. Or shop us online, GwatneyBuickGMC.com.
5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GMC. We are professional grade.
Gwatney for Buick, Gwatney for GMC, Gwatney for life.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. The places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The opportunities of another new year are beckoning. What will you do with them? Too many get stuck in a rut, doing the same things over and over. As Robin Sharma says, don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Change things up. Set new goals. Quit a bad habit. Take up a good one. You can do it, my friend. Say along with Thomas Jefferson, I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. May your dreams come true in 2024. Get busy living or get busy dying. Looking for a great place to work? You can be part of the Double B's team. Go to doublebees.com and apply online. We are looking for a few good men and a few good women. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
At Arch Marine, we just called in our latest flock of hunting boats. Look at these ambush boats by Legend Craft. The perfect style and function for years of successful hunts. How about letting us customize a well-built boat for your particular needs? Vary any of our boats with a Tatsu outboard. All the boats at Arch Marine are rugged, and our selection and prices are unmatched in Central Arkansas. We also offer full service on ATVs. So before you hit the deer woods, come let our certified technicians make sure you don't have any breakdowns this fall. Get in now before these deals fly away. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Baker, president and publisher of AY Media Group here in Arkansas. We publish two of the biggest and most widely read magazines in the entire state, AY Magazine and Arkansas Money and Politics. At AY and Arkansas Money and Politics, we keep you up to date on all the news you need to know and the stories you want to hear. Visit us online at aymag.com and armoneyandpolitics.com to see for yourself. Now, more than ever, it is important to be mindful of where you get your news and support your local businesses. With AY Media Group, you get the best of both worlds.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bold in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Central Arkansas Cadillac dealers.
Lost the ball. Aberdeen picks it up with 4 seconds to go. He's going to dribble it out, and this one is in the book.
Arkansas falls to 0-3 with the 90-68 loss in Gainesville to the Florida Gators. Arkansas came in as a 7-point favorite, and Florida covers easily in this one, kind of like the Houston Texans tonight. Houston with a couple of pick sixes, and they're up now 44-14. I did not see that one coming.
No.
All right, we're here, though, to talk about the Razorbacks on this Gwatney Automotive postgame show. Not a lot of good things to talk about, if anything good to talk about. It's a lot of disappointment. And we're going to start off tonight with Toby. He is in Little Rock. Toby, welcome into the Gwatney Automotive postgame show.
Hi guys. Thanks, first of all, for taking my calls. And, of course, this is obviously another very frustrating evening. One of the things that I've always said about this team is that we have absolutely no identity. Now, we do have some identities that have been established over the past few games. That is, number one, we are not good at anything, and our identity is that what we are bad at, and that is we cannot stop anybody driving to the basket. And unfortunately, it's about like a great football team that keeps running the ball down your throat and say, I'm going to continue to do the same thing to you until you prove to me that you can stop it. And that's the identity that Arkansas has across the league now. Every team that plays us, our identity is we cannot stop anybody, okay? And therefore, every team that plays us are going to continue to run it down our throat, driving to the basket until we prove that we can stop that. And until Musk can do that, I mean, we're going to be a lost cause. And one other comment, and I would like to hear y'all feedback on this. I mean, how many games do we realistically think that we can win? We've seen other teams play, okay? And so how many games do we realistically think that we can win? And I just hang up and listen. Thank you.
Appreciate the call, Toby. I think you nailed it with the identity.
Yes.
They don't stop anybody penetrating to the basket. How many – this team right now that we're watching, without any improvement, will win – let's see, there's 15 games left, right? Yep.
Yeah, they'll probably beat – Missouri's terrible. They'll beat them. Vanderbilt, they got a chance of beating them as well.
Maybe four or five games. They got to play a lot better. They've got to do a lot of improving. I'm not giving up yet. What's the saying? It's always darkest right before dawn.
Yes.
I kind of got that feeling, and I've told you guys over and over and over. Arkansas started last season 1-5 in the SEC. In 2022, they started just where they are right now, 0-3. The year before that, they started 2-4. Does that mean they're going to do it this year? No, it doesn't. But we've been here before, and I've been a part of every one of the shows. And the panic set in, and the negative Musselman calls came in, and the transfer portals came in. But does this year feel a little different? It does. It does feel a little bit different. I'm starting to we had a great debate on the zone, Justin and I did, and he feels like, and with the eye test, that this year feels different and looks different. And I'm starting to sway that way, that it just looks different right now. They've got a lot of answers, or a lot of questions, not many answers, a lot of questions that do need to be answered in the next couple of weeks.
Right. I think the issue for Arkansas is this, and this is not saying that it's a sunk season, but when you can tell that they have poorly constructed the roster, right? They have so many redundancies at guard. Like, they do not have a point guard. They do not have a point guard where you say, this guy's passing ability is strong. They don't have anybody who's a good passer. And they don't have, they have guys who can dribble drive, but not guys who are dribble driving, looking to swing. Yeah, right. Yeah. And also, it's not like they have a ton of knockdown shooters on the team. And as things have, things have tightened a bit more in conference play, the shooting for them has gone down. And then they don't have any rim protection, and their guards are not strong defensively. I think, there's a whole lot, like you hear all the time, color analysts say this, about being connected on the defensive end. They're not connected at all. Like, you can tell the guys do not trust each other. That their ball screen defense, there's no trust that whoever's the other side of that screen is there to help you. Guys are getting blown by. Guys are not in good help position. Helping the helper is not happening. They don't do anything well. That's why they went to zone. I mean, they were forced to go into zone today. And so that's the thing. They do not have an identity. They do not have any kind of identity. And I think it's a roster construction thing. And I think that's why you've seen 3 results that have been so, one direction, is that, you can take advantage of that. Now, I don't know if there's a way to adjust. There probably is some, but, I mean, making shots, I guess, is one way you could do it. But these guys are all shot creators for themselves. They don't create shots for each other.
Yeah. Let's see. L. Ellis was brought in to be a point guard. He's a scoring guard. He's not one that's driving in and looking to dish most of the time, and now he's hardly playing. And Minifield is the same thing. He is a point guard, ball in his hands, but he is so far it's been more create my own shot than create a shot for somebody else. I'm done. I've seen enough of the 2 big guys in there at once.
Yeah.
It's not working. They're trying to go big because other teams are being more physical. Well, they're doing that with 2 big guys in there.
Right.
So I would rather go small and make the other team adjust to you and use your speed and quickness and try to create a mismatch for the other team. I would like to see a lineup of Devo. I think Devo still is the best defender on this team.
Yep.
Layden Blocker, another really good defender. Tremont Mark, who is a good defender and tries. He tries a lot. I would put Brazil in at the 5, make him the big guy. And, yeah, he needs a break from time to time, and you can put in one of the other guys and give him a breather. And the 4th guy can be a Davenport, can be a I still like Caleb Battle because he is a scorer, he is a shooter. But if you put in because I do think Devo, Blocker, and Mark are good defenders. They're probably their 3 best defenders. Then maybe you can live with Battle and some of his deficiencies because of what he can do offensively.
They need to move better on offense, right? I think about a lineup like that, and I would say, okay, my one concern is, are guys moving without the basketball, right? You would need all of those guys to continually work to move. And I think that's the one thing on offense is, like, working to get their shots. And I think I agree with you. I mean, I guess the one way to make Brazil toughen him up, because that's a huge issue. He's not nearly as tough enough.
No.
But hey, I don't think a bad way to do it at this point is just put him at the 5 and say, all right, we're gonna, like, you'll sink or swim. But I mean, you've got some ability. If you put him at the 5 and see how it goes. I mean, because at this point you're getting pounded on the inside anyway. Might as well see if that guy makes a little bit of a difference for you in the interior, because even the tough guys they have right now, they're not doing well enough. So I think there's actually something to the idea. Hey, you can be small and still be tough and physical.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way that they go: smaller, tougher, but just smaller. With the toughness.
Over on the Southern Structural Solutions text line from the 870, it's a coaching problem. Everybody knows that. And there you go. It is going to start to come.
I would say it's a team. Well,
it's easy to blame the coaches.
The coaches messed up with how they assembled the team, but like that happens. I mean, you can live sometimes, right? I think in the preseason, everybody thought this group should be good.
Yeah.
Against the Duke game, we saw flashes. But I think they messed up the construction and the deployment, and so that's kind of their big issue right now as they're working through that.
It is crazy to think that this team is the team that beat Duke and beat the Purdue team in an exhibition that felt much like a regular season game.
Right.
That they were that good at one point and this bad right now.
Right.
From the 870, Brazil does not seem to be the same player since his injury. That's actually from Gene. And, Gene, I actually agree with you. I still think there's something there. The aggressiveness isn't there. The lateral speed is not there at all. When you get him out, and that's one of the reasons I'd like to play him at the 5, because when they get him out on the perimeter, this guy's just driving by him every time. Blows right by him every single time. It's been a mismatch, him playing at the 4 against other power forwards.
And on offense, to catch the ball and do the jab step and then kind of the recoil and the shot. And he's not a threat to drive. He's not a threat to drive right now. He can do it sometimes, but I mean, guys are mostly just going to let him have that 3. It's not a high percentage shot. The jab delayed 3 for him. It's not a high percentage shot right now. And he's, I think he kind of encapsulates everything with this team right now. Is clearly there's a mental block, whether it be his performance or an injury or a combination of both, and talent that is not recognizing what it should be. And that's the story of Arkansas team as a whole.
Well, there are a lot of players on this team that can play better, and I don't want to just pick on Brazil, but he is the guy that's mentioned as a potential first-round pick, and right now he does not look like a potential first-round pick. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take some more of your phone calls, 661-1037, 661-1037. We'll also hear from Coach Musselman when we come back, and I want to hear from Little Rock's own, Layden Blocker. Stick around. This is the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show live at Walk-Ons.
Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer is a proud sponsor of the big game. Since 1957, Gwatney has had its own winning team. And with brand new team member Devo Davis, they can't lose.
I'm proud to know I have the support of my personal hometown dealership, Gwatney Chevrolet. Trading with Gwatney is a slam dunk.
Gwatney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 982-2102. GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Go Gwatney or go home.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive X-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho, Arkansas.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
Arkansas, are you watching this lotto jackpot? It's now more than $750,000. What makes this jackpot different? For starters, it's only one in Arkansas. There's a drawing every Wednesday and Saturday night, and the jackpot keeps growing until someone wins it all. Don't miss your chance to be that lucky someone. Get your lotto ticket today in stores or on the Jackpocket app. Good luck, Arkansas. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for problem gambling helpline.
Now's your chance to be a part of the team. Join the Razorback Foundation for as little as $50 to be first in line for tickets, seating, parking, and exclusive events with coaches and players. Plus, members get 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your membership provides 465 Razorback student athletes with the resources they need to succeed in the classroom and in competition. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. As a Razorback Foundation member, you will experience a lifetime full of Razorback memories. Go Hogs!
It's Justin Aker for CertaPro Painters. It's a company I've used for years for many projects, inside and outside over the years, and soon you'll be able to say the same, and you'll be happy that you can. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, but CertaPro does. They'll walk you through the process, help you pick out exactly the right color paint for whatever room you're trying to redo, and they're going to leave behind a beautiful, clean project. You won't even know they were there other than the project being done, and your wall's looking great. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so get them on the case as soon as possible. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
This is Pat Bradley for Wick Davis Lumber Plus. What are your goals for the new year? Planning on updating your home? Or is this the year to break ground and finally build a home of your dreams? Start the process with a lumberyard that has been in business for over 7 decades. Wick Davis can recommend a top-notch contractor to get your home building or remodeling process started. They know the world is full of choices and appreciate it when you choose to place your trust with them. Wick Davis Lumber Plus, a trusted lumberyard for over 70 years.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Where the Hogs hit the hardwood. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock.
53-35 Florida. Mark flashes for the steal. Tremont to the other end with a layup. Mark with a steal in the basket. He's got 10. It's 53-37.
Tremont Mark finished the night with 12 points. He was 6 of 14 from the field. He tied for the lead in scoring with Layden Blocker. Blocker also had 14 points. Let's take some phone calls. Willie is in Pine Bluff. He joins us now on the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show. What's going on, Willie?
Hey, how's it going, man? Look here, I watched the game, man, and really, from what I can see, that Arkansas they have an average team. I mean, they aren't really that great or that good. But my deal is, for some reason, I noticed the people in Arkansas would not complain about this coach for some reason. I guess it's a taboo if you complain about this coach. Okay, he didn't want to put this team together, if I'm not mistaken. So someone needs to realize that evidently he's not doing his job the way he should be doing it to make the amount of money that he's making. So we need to start looking at that a little bit and stop just coming up with all these excuses, man, because they were bad today. Just point blank, they were bad.
Willie, thank you for the call. No, I think we've said that this team has not been constructed right. That's one of the things you pointed out, Josh. But I think Coach Musk gets a pass. No, I know for me, Musselman gets a pass because they've gone to 2 Elite Eights and a Sweet 16, and that's something that hasn't happened around here since the year 2019. It had been 20-something years since they'd gone to a Sweet 16, and he's taken them 3 straight years, so I'm not going to jump all over Musselman because he's having a bad year.
People miss on talent evaluations in all sports at all time. I'm not saying it's not even straight up talent evaluation. It's just like the roster construction. This thing is not working
The
out.
cohesiveness,
Right.
the chemistry, there's something not there.
Yeah, and look, last year, the big issue for Arkansas at the end of the day was they were too young at the positions that mattered the most, right? I mean, they're functional, but like their best scorer in terms of, hey, what is scoring, was Nick Smith. And, he is in terms of conventional, what we think of a scorer, he's 18 years old. And that's tough to have your best scorer be a young guy like that who's not always taking the best quality of shot. So this year, they kind of flipped it a bit, right? The 3 most reliable, 3 of their most relied on players last year were all freshmen who are all in the NBA now. All right, how do you go away from that and get guys, I call them rental car guys. You want guys who can, are old, can rent cars. Those are the guys you want in college basketball to help you win. They went pretty heavy that direction. It's almost too heavy, right? Like these guys are almost too set in their ways that there's too many of them. They can't really mesh, and so there's not a whole lot. There was not a lot of molding. A lot of these guys kind of are what they are at this point of their basketball careers and have not come well together. And you know what? Part of that's coaching, sure. Part of it's evaluation. Part of it's on the players. It can be a collection of things, and we don't have to just dunk on Musk for it. I mean, he missed. He might have missed with this team. At least at this point, he's missed.
In years past, what we heard were guys were wanting to come to Arkansas out of the portal to win. This is their last chance. And so when you have a guy that's on his last chance, he listens to the coach. He does what the coach wants.
Yeah.
He's out of opportunities. If you don't make it work here, you're done.
Right.
And so it's worked. And what we heard in the preseason, because we're lucky enough to have a Caliph battle on the morning show, and L. Ellis was on the afternoons. That's what we heard. They came to Arkansas because they wanted to win. They wanted to play for Coach Musselman because he has shown what it takes to win and to get players to the next level. But for some reason, it's not working out right now. Yeah. The mesh isn't happening with this team.
And Joe Klein is on, he's on both a lot of our programs, has said these guys like each other. And like Musk swears by these guys seem to actually, on the court they don't, but like they seem to actually like each other when they talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of an issue too, is it seems like they like each other. It's not. But when they're out there on Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, it's not the results that I think they feel like they should be having.
It's odd what we hear and then what we see. It just doesn't seem to
match up at all.
Let's go over to some of our comments for those watching us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter right now. Barton says Devo has no desire or interest to help this team. He's a veteran player and he's a no-show. I think Devo is very frustrated right now, and it seems obvious to me on the court.
Yeah, but I would never question his effort.
I would never. Because he plays hard. Now, he didn't play a whole lot tonight. What was his total minutes? I didn't see Devo a lot in that second half of Devo. But like I said,
11 minutes.
11 minutes?
Well, it's funny. He and Menefield basically had identical games. Last game, Menefield was out there starting off, initiating the offense.
Yeah.
Takes a seat, doesn't really play a lot more. This game, Devo was the one initiating offense at the beginning. Takes a seat, don't see him a lot more. It's interesting.
Devo was 0 for 1 from the field. Devo took the first shot of the game. Got in foul trouble, went on the bench, and didn't play much in the second half. So for you to say in 11 minutes he has no desire, I don't know, maybe you're just being a little harsh.
I probably didn't notice him playing, which he didn't. It's probably fair.
Bart also says, for the first time, it seems like this team is healthy but lacks consistency. No, you're right with that.
On the Southern Structural Solutions text line, somebody says, please ask yourself why in the world we can't play defense for sustained periods at all. Can't even guard our own shadow. Defense has to be the priority without fouling. They should maybe just foul at this point. I mean, that would be more resistance than what they're putting up at the rim, right?
There were several times tonight that they actually were playing good defense and they were moving around. The shot clock was getting down, and they always fouled at the end of the shot clock.
At least.
Oh, Musselman's pulling his hair out.
Yeah.
Thomas says on Facebook, why do we not run a zone? I just don't understand. Well, Thomas, you didn't watch today, did you? because for the first time they played a lot of zone.
They did.
In
the first half.
Yeah. The only time Musselman's played a kind of zone was a couple years back ago when Connor Vanover was on the team. And you'll see it from time to time now where they'll run and jump the guy with the ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes in late game situations, they'll double team that guy, make him get rid of it. That leaves 3 guys trying to defend 4 players, and it's kind of a zone concept. But
right.
Tonight, for the first
Straight
time
zone.
ever, they played a straight 2-3 zone.
There's a couple issues when you go zone. So the big thing, my big issue in zone is there's no box out assignments, right? So if they've overloaded one side of the zone, all right, if there's 2 people on the right side, well, there's only 1 guy in that zone, right? So that's so it's a lot about recognition when it comes to finishing off possessions. And also, you need to play pretty slow if you want to play zone. Because if you're up and down and guys are thinking about getting back to spots, you have to fill certain spots on the floor. And you have to recognize, all right, well, spot X, Y, and Z are not filled right now while they're in transition. And that can be hard. And I think where they were good tonight was when they were able to set up the zone. Where they were bad is everybody was kind of helter-skelter getting back, trying to figure out where do I fill in zone.
That's a great point.
So that's one issue they had. But I think you can tell they've drilled it some, but not enough. I'm wondering if they're going to drill that a lot more.
Billy says Devo, Blocker, and Fall need to be your starters. I would ride and die with them all season long. I'm good with Devo and Blocker. I don't think Fall's ready to play SEC basketball yet. Let's hear from Coach Musselman.
Nobody else is right now either. Fair enough.
That's a good point.
To be fair.
Let's hear from Coach Musselman and get his thoughts on the debacle.
Okay, Eric, I know that's obviously not what you're looking for. Just what was your overall assessment?
You know, we're through 3 SEC games, we're not playing. We've been here 4 years, and we've been a team that's been super tough-minded. We've been a team that competes. We've been a team that battles. We've been a team that has grit, and we have not done that this year at all.
Today you guys got to a really bad start. You switched to the zone. It worked for a little while, but how'd you think the zone worked? And I'm trying to remember the last time you played a zone.
Yeah, I haven't played zone at all since I've been in college. But we're not guarding anybody one-on-one. So the thought process was to put a zone in yesterday and try to help us with dribble drives. It helped for a little bit, Bob, as a change of pace. It maybe slowed Florida down for half a little bit. But just as in any zone and man, you got to be able to guard either the guy in your area or the guy you're assigned to, whether it's man or zone. And our inability, to play defense, to take away the 3 really doesn't matter. I mean, we gave up, 9 threes the other night. Playing Georgia when we were man-to-man, we went zone tonight, gave up 9 threes. And, we need to play with like our past teams have. And this group just does not grasp concepts, whether it's man or you put in a zone. So really happy with the play of Layden Blocker and Joseph Pinion. Those guys, one of them's +2, one of them's -1. I just thought they played hard. I thought they played the right way. And their numbers are indicative of that. That's why their plus-minus is what it is. And it wasn't like they just played insignificant minutes. I mean, those guys did play 21 minutes and 24 minutes. So proud of our 2 young guys on how they battled.
And Deb, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Come back to you, Bob.
Yeah, Eric, you just mentioned, Pinion and Blocker there. I mean, does their play maybe give you something to think about in terms of like switching up, the rotations moving forward here in the next couple of games?
Well, Hutch, I think we've changed up a lot of things, a lot. I mean, I think we've changed the starting lineup. We've tried different things, but certainly those 2 young men tonight, because they played hard, we'll probably look to go to them earlier than we have in some of these past games. At some point, you're going to play some young guys. And, certainly tonight, that's what I look to do. And, younger players, when you're not playing like, you hope, that's the next thing you're going to turn to as the as one of the alternatives after you've gone through about 15 other alternatives, which we've tried. I mean, we've tried a whole bunch of stuff. You know, we've already mentioned we've never played a zone in 10 years. We're trying everything. We've tried different starting lineups. You know, the one constant with Layden Blocker has been that he plays really hard. And the one constant that Joseph Pinion has exhibited through 2 years is he will try to run our offense and try to do things within the framework of who we are. You know, sometimes athletically, you know, Joseph might have a matchup that's not advantageous, but, you know, he's got heart, he's got character, and he's a guy that tries and plays up to his ability.
And I'm not sure what the final numbers ended up being, but at halftime, I think y'all were 4 of 16 on layups and dunks. Just what do you think contributed to that? Is that something that you've put an emphasis on at practice, or just how do you improve that moving forward?
Well, I don't know if I can improve it. I mean, you know, like I would love to tell you, did we do drills because we knew that they go vertical really well? Absolutely, we did. We had 2 different stations even this morning. So did we work on it? Did we talk about it? Yeah. You know, having said that, and I don't have the layup stats, but, you know, Joseph took it in there and, yeah, he might have missed 1 or 2 and so did everybody else. And certainly, Layden took it in there, and I know Layden missed 1 or 2, but I thought they went in there with authority. I thought they tried to get into the body of the secondary defender. They didn't shoot floaters. You know, they tried to get to the rim, and much respect to those guys to absorb contact and not try to avoid contact.
That's it. Eric Musselman after the game, and I thought that was a great question from Hutch, Andrew Hutchison, about the layups. We discussed that. How many of those that they blew? What was that total number? I had that pulled up. 13 of 20.
And it being 10 of 28.
13 of 28.
10 of 28.
10 of 28.
10 of 28 on layups.
Yeah, and there were. I was pulling up the shot chart. I was sharing it with someone. We were talking about the shot selection. They were 1 of 11 from inside the lane, outside the layup box, in the lane. 1 of 11.
Confidence, and there's a lot of hesitation tonight. There's a lot of hesitation around the rim. Guys are not confident in the shots that they're taking.
They were not finishing. All right, we'll take some more phone calls when we come back, and I want to hear from Layden Blocker because he was maybe the star of the night. I don't know who they named, but maybe he was.
They did after the game. They said Layden Blocker and Joseph Pinion.
I think that would have been my choice. We'll hear from our star of the game when we come back. This is the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show live at Walk-Ons.
The Big Game is brought to you by Pulaski County's only Buick GMC dealer, Gwatney Buick GMC. Shop the latest GM has to offer: Encore, Terrain, Yukon, or the most advanced tailgating machine in the business, GMC Sierra. Give us a call.
945-4444 or shop us online, GwatneyBuickGMC.com.
5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GMC, we are professional grade.
Gwatney for Buick, Gwatney for GMC, Gwatney for life.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. The places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Baker, president and publisher of AY Media Group here in Arkansas. We publish 2 of the biggest and most widely read magazines in the entire state, AY Magazine and Arkansas Money and Politics. At AY and Arkansas Money and Politics, we keep you up to date on all the news you need to know and the stories you want to hear. Visit us online at aymag.com and armoneyandpolitics.com to see for yourself. Now, more than ever, it is important to be mindful of where you get your news and support your local businesses. With AY Media Group, you get the best of both worlds.
The Rogers family for Capital Business Machines.
It's real important to keep going what our dad has started. He had a good reputation, and we want to continue that reputation. Business is about relationships,
And I think a lot of times it gets too corporate, too internet, too impersonal, and we want to continue that legacy that our dad has started. Treat people right, and they'll take care of you too.
Contact us today for a free document assessment at catbiz.com.
Rowdy Hog Pickleball is the only dedicated pickleball store in Arkansas. Whether you love to dink or smash, their sales professionals can help you choose a paddle that fits your needs. Rowdy Hog Pickleball has everything you need to practice at home and play on the court. Get out of the kitchen and stop by to talk to one of their professionals to ace the new year. Located in the outlet mall down from H&M. Rowdy Hog Pickleball, your one-stop shop for pickleball success.
Now's your chance to be a part of the team. Join the Razorback Foundation for as little as $50 to be first in line for tickets, seating, parking, and exclusive events with coaches and players. Plus, members get 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your membership provides 465 Razorback student athletes with the resources they need to succeed in the classroom and in competition. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. As a Razorback Foundation member, you will experience a lifetime full of Razorback memories. Go Hogs!
This is Pat Bradley for Wick Davis Lumber Plus. What are your goals for the new year? Planning on updating your home? Or is this the year to break ground and finally build a home of your dreams? Start the process with a lumberyard that has been in business for over 7 decades. Wick Davis can recommend a top-notch contractor to get your home building or remodeling process started. They know the world is full of choices and appreciate it when you choose to place your trust with them. Wick Davis Lumber Plus, a trusted lumberyard for over 70 years.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
Davenport crosses his man over, finds Pinion in the corner. Three-pointer good from Joseph. Here come the Razorbacks.
Joseph Pinion had 12 points tonight. Played well in the second half. Layden Blocker came in, played really well. He had a career high, 14 points. So give kudos to Layden Blocker. Maybe that earns him some more playing time.
I hope so, too. He's a good perimeter defender, and, I think that's one thing they obviously need in scoring, too. Hey, if you're aggressive at the rim finish, they need some more of that right now, so I believe it's positive.
Let's hear from Layden Blocker and get his thoughts on today's game.
Okay, Eric, I know that's obviously not what you're looking for. Just what was your overall assessment?
We're
Oops, that's the wrong one.
That's not
We'll let Chris cue it up. Chris, you let me know when you got it. We'll toss to Layden Blocker. He says give him a second. We can give him a second. Besides Blocker with 14 and the Pinion that I told you had 12, Jalen Graham had 10 points. Jeremiah Davenport, 13 points, but all that came in the first half. A good half for Jeremiah Davenport.
Yeah.
He was part of the run that got it down to 9 at one point. They got it to 10 at another point, and that was one of the occasions where Arkansas got it to 10, went inside, could not finish. Florida got the rebound, went down, and finished at the rim. I'm like, instead of being an 8-point game, it's now a 12-point game. And then Florida went to the free throw line, made one. Then they come back, hit 2, and it was a 15-point game. And I was like, What a swing right there. You got to be able to finish at the rim.
All these guys have had moments. It's funny because, Menafield had a nice, section of the game. And then Jalen Graham had a nice section of the game. And Davenport's had a nice section of the game. And Blocker has. They don't have any, but, they don't have the core guys they can depend on just yet at this point in time. And somebody brought this up and said, Wes, golf slap young Josh, pleased with the hyperbole in his end-of-season pronouncements. I'm not saying it's the end of the season yet. I'm going to say we're trying to rack our brains out what Arkansas can do differently, and there's clearly not, there's not, hey, why don't we just try this guy at point? Why don't we move this guy in for rotation more? I will say the one thing about last year's team is the roles are pretty different, right? Anthony Black was your point guard. The guy nobody played more minutes in the entire conference than that guy. He was your point guard. Devo was the older guard who would be by his side, right?
Ricky Council.
Ricky Council, obviously. your swing guy, a good athlete, a guy who's really good at moving out the basketball.
Jalen Graham. I think they missed Jalen Graham a lot this year.
Yeah.
His toughness, his length.
Jalen Graham?
Jalen Graham.
Yeah,
Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh.
And Jordan Walsh, the guy didn't shoot the ball well, but would make a 3 or 2. And also, think about this, Wes, that's the guy who guarded Jalen Wilson, one of the best players in the entire country, and watched Jalen Wilson all year last year. Nobody did a better job on defense than Jordan Walsh did. They don't have a guy that can lock down. They can't stop any guards from scoring right now at any point in time. So that's why I'm saying there's no clear answer. And the problem is it's not it's 89, 85 every game. No, yeah. It's little number, big number right now for them.
That was the disappointing thing for me because I thought they played a lot better in the second half against Georgia. After speaking with Devo on the zone this week and some of the things that he said, I thought this team had made some strides and we were going to see it today. We didn't see any of that today. This was more like the Auburn game. All right, we got Layden Blocker. Let's wait. Nope. He says, wait. I'll wait for you. You let us know. There's plenty of things to talk about with this game. Arkansas shot 38% from the field.
Yeah.
And once again, when you go back and look, they didn't shoot terrible from 3. I mean, 5 of 15 is not terrible. It's not good enough. You would like 6 of 15, 7 of 15. So it wasn't terrible. Free throw percentage, not good, 17 to 25. That's 68%. Needs to be better. That's the same thing with Graham. Graham did it again today. What was Graham's final free throw count?
Layden, 2 for 4.
2 for 4. He missed his first 2, please. Made his last 2. Yeah. All right, let's hear from Layden Blocker. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard.
I thought I did too.
Okay. But it comes back to shooting percentage. They didn't shoot the ball well in Florida. Shot almost 50% for the game. They made baskets, many of them interior baskets. Yep. And, I mean, Florida from the outside, 9 of 25. I felt like at times, I thought they were making everything they shot from the three-point line.
They didn't even need the threes,
no,
because they were so effective with the driving.
Going inside. But they shot almost 50% from the floor. Arkansas, 38% from the floor. You want to know what's wrong? That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
That was the story to me today.
Yeah, there's pretty, every single Arkansas game so far, there have been massive gaps in these important categories.
Yeah.
And, I mean, today, it was the points
in the paint.
It ends up being 10, but, you can't start off that way because even if you play them to a draw the rest of the way in that category, you've already put yourself in a pretty deep hole. And then this today, too, another big issue for Arkansas was the rebounding, right? I mean, the rebounding today for them, let's see, going to the split box. Rebounding, they end up minus 17 in rebounding. I mean, it just cannot happen. And then on the offensive glass, 15 to 9. So, in that area, 6 is a pretty big margin.
Okay, this time for real, we got Layden Blocker.
Layden. Ethan, can you start us off, please?
Yeah, Layden, just I know not the result y'all wanted, but you had a pretty good game. I know you got a lot of run there. Just what'd you think of, I guess, the overall, the team's performance?
Overall, I feel like we still, continue to get better. Obviously one of our, issues right now is just rebounding. We're getting beat on the glass a lot in a lot of our games. And, Florida, there's the number 1 team, offensive rebounding team in the country and one of the biggest teams. So I feel like just rebounding was our, biggest downfall this game. And, just.
And then last thing I'll ask is just defensively, what do you think y'all got to do to start, making some progress?
Really just wanting to play defense, getting down and ready in our spots and gap. Just being in the spots that coach wants us to be and where we're supposed to be.
Bob.
Yeah, sorry, just jumped on here. I guess how tough is that? These 0-3 SEC start and double-digit losses, and last week was maybe a little better than last Saturday, but not a lot. Just how tough has this been getting blown out these last couple Saturdays?
It's been tough for everyone. For the past couple of games, we haven't been playing our best, what we're capable of doing. So, we just gotta keep working, keep our heads up, and just keep trying to fight. We gotta click. We're gonna click soon. We just gotta click. And at the end of the day, we'll be what we want to be.
Sorry if you got asked this already, but You obviously, some guys that haven't been getting to play a lot got to play today. How'd you think y'all did, and does that maybe provide some hope for moving forward?
Honestly, I think, the second group he put out there, we did pretty good, especially in that first half, second half, we came in there, brought energy, got some stops, some steals, got some buckets, key buckets, Joseph Penn, he had some key shots when he came in, and just overall as a team, I just feel like, the energy, we came with that energy off the bench, and that's, what we need, in the long run.
And you guys went to a zone, which Eric, I can't remember the last time he played a zone, but how much you guys worked on that? And it seemed like it worked for a little while in the first half. Is that something maybe that could help out moving forward?
Of course, I feel like it can help us out moving forward. We just put that zone in like Thursday or Friday, one of those days. So, that was something new for us also. And I feel like first time running it, we did like a decent job, but we still have a lot of things to clean up.
That's very interesting. You can stop it there, Chris. I'd like to talk about that.
Yeah.
Just putting in the zone this week. I kind of figured that. I didn't know if they'd been working on it throughout the year, at different times throughout practice, but to just put it in one day this week and put it into a game right now, that tells me a lot.
You
The
could tell.
Frustration from Musselman.
Right, you could tell. I mean, because there's certain ways you're supposed to filter guys into a zone, and you can tell the guys are out of position. I was almost wondering, are they mixing it in first, or are they playing it straight up? Because there'd be times like, is this a 3-2? And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh no, it's back to a 2-3. All right, they've got the guys in the right spot now. So, you can tell they're still not great with that, but I think we're going to see more of that.
James wants to know if we can go back to 40 minutes of hell. No. Dandy says team chemistry is bad. I think, it looks bad on the court. I will say that. Too much one-on-one offense. Yep, that's kind of Musselman's
But that's
style.
the personnel. That's the personnel base.
That's what he does.
So,
no go-to scorer. And today there wasn't.
No.
There has been at times.
Yeah.
Jamon Mark has been a go-to. Got Minifield was a go-to scorer one game, but not today. And no true leader. You see a leader on the court?
No.
Okay, I don't need it. We'll take our last break. We are at Walk-Ons, and I tell you what, the crowd is growing. There must be a big NFL game tonight.
it's not on cable.
Chiefs will be playing.
It's not on cable.
At 7:10. So, we're 30 minutes away from kickoff, and people are waiting to get in, and a lot of games on TV right now. Walk-Ons, the place to be for college, NFL, for sports. Come on out and see us. This is the Gwatney Automotive Postgame Show.
Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer is a proud sponsor of the big game. Since 1957, Gwatney has had its own winning team. And with brand new team member Devo Davis, they can't lose.
I'm proud to know I have the support of my personal hometown dealership, Gwatney Chevrolet. Trading with Gwatney is a slam dunk.
Gwatney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 982-2102. GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Go Gwatney or go home.
Injured at the game? Don't wait. With Ortho Arkansas Saturday Sports Clinic, athletes can find out over the weekend if their injury will sideline their season. Athletes are seen by one of Ortho Arkansas's fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians and may receive x-rays, an MRI, an exam and diagnosis, and a personalized comprehensive treatment plan to get them back in action as quickly as possible. Open Saturdays from 9 to 11 a.m. at 800 Fair Park Boulevard in Midtown. Ortho for all. Ortho Arkansas.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support. Places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com. Member FDIC.
There is nothing better than calling the Hogs with your fellow Razorback fans. And now is the time to join the team and become a part of the Razorback Foundation. Fans can join for as little as $4.17 per month. The financial support provided by Razorback Foundation members makes a once-in-a-lifetime experience possible for more than 465 student athletes. Your gifts provide scholarships, academic support, training, and nutrition, as well as professional and personal development assistance. Being a member allows you to access priority seating and parking, tailgate tailgating, invitations to exclusive coaches and player events, as well as 20% off at Slim Chickens in Northwest Arkansas. Your support will help the Razorbacks continue on the path of success and bring home even more SEC and national championships. Already a member? Great. You have until March 1st to renew your membership. Join by calling 479-443-9000 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com. That's 479-443-9000 or RazorbackFoundation.com. Go Hogs!
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
If you lose your pet in Wooded Rock, do you know where to look? Our city shelter, the Wooded Rock Animal Village, houses over 200 animals, so they can't tell you over the phone if your pet is there. Please go in person to 4500 Kramer off South University next to First Tee. Strays are available for adoption after 7 days, so when you're looking to adopt, please visit the Animal Village. You'll meet all ages, breeds, and sizes, and many are already trained. Just a $90 adoption fee covers shots, neuter, and microchip at Wooded Rock Animal Village.
This year, elevate your style in a Cadillac. Go from bold to bolder in a stunning Escalade. From inspiring to awe-inspiring in a sophisticated CT4 or CT5. From credible to incredible in a dynamic XT4. Visit your Central Arkansas Cadillac dealers.
Lost the ball. Aberdeen picks it up with 4 seconds to go. He's going to dribble it out, and this one is in the book.
Yeah, your final score, Florida wins 90-68 over Arkansas. Arkansas falls to 0-3 in the SEC. If you want a little glimmer of hope, maybe I can make you feel a little bit better. I think Arkansas has lost to at least 2 very good teams in Auburn and Florida. And I think Georgia's maybe a little better than we thought, because I watched them play today,
I did too.
and they almost beat Tennessee.
Awesome game.
Yeah. So maybe this was some, not that, Arkansas, if they're going to be a good team, they need to be able to beat some of these teams, but maybe that's what's making Arkansas look as bad as they look right now. They're playing some really good teams.
Yeah, but they're not close.
No, they're
right?
not.
They're not competitive in those games. The Georgia game was semi-competitive down the stretch, but yeah, that's the concern.
What else is happening in the SEC today?
You mentioned it, Wes. 85-79. Tennessee beats Georgia. Dalton Connect, 36 points for the Vols. He is a volume scorer, as they say. 97-92. Texas A&M has had a disappointing start to the year. They beat Kentucky. Wade Taylor, the fourth, 31 points. Tyrese Radford had 20-plus as well. Ole Miss 69-56 over Vanderbilt. Morelos 24. Ole Miss is 15-1. As we mentioned before, Florida gets the win over Arkansas. South Carolina goes on the road and beats Missouri 71-69 in overtime. Right now it's 75-62. Auburn leads LSU in a battle of 2 teams that are both 2-0 in the SEC. And then finally tonight, the nightcap, 7:30 on the SEC Network. It's Alabama, who's 2-0 in the league, against 1-1 Mississippi State, who's looking to get back-to-back big home wins. They beat Tennessee earlier this week, looking to beat the Tide tonight.
That's a good game. I would watch that game if I wasn't watching the Chiefs play a little football tonight. And over on our feedback on Facebook, a guy named Justin Acree wrote in and said UCA won. Congratulations to the Bears. That was a big win for the Bears. Home tonight. Coming up next, Arkansas gets that A&M team you were just talking about. A&M looked impressive. It's going to be a tough game Tuesday night, 8 o'clock tip-off. I would invite you to Walk-Ons, come hang out, watch the game here, and we will be here for the post-game show and breaking down, hopefully, Josh's first victory in the post-game show.
Still waiting on.
Yes.
Hasn't been very close.
That's the one, Josh.
Yep.
Need that. That's going to do it from here at Walk-Ons. Come on out, watch the Chiefs play at Walk-Ons, and come back out Tuesday night when Arkansas takes on A&M. Glad you listened. For Chris Holloway back in the studio, thank you, Chris. Great job, Josh Neighbors. Fantastic. I'm Wes Moore. Have a great night, everybody.